This is a Nekko Media podcast.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Welcome back to Cinephiles and Cenobites. I'm your hostess, Annika Pussyfoot, Cinderella Hellborn, and all that good shit. Welcome to another special Cinebite. The boys Mox and Ono are going to give a special Ceno6 movies they are thankful for. I guess for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday or some shit. Not sure what I'm thankful for yet, but I'll let you know later. Alright, y'all, the Ceno6.
The box. We came. Now you must come with us. Taste our pleasures.
Alright, welcome to a special Ceno6 Cinebite number 3. We're going to be talking about movies we're thankful for. It is the month of November. It's time to be thankful for a bunch of stuff.
Remember, the month of November.
It's true. So, we're going to talk about these movies. I would think, a lot of these are our favorites, but they've definitely, in one way or another,
Impacted.
Us in a way, and our love for cinema. So, before we get started, just to let you know, if you hear this, our picks are different.
And if you hear this, then it means our picks were the same.
Yes, and again, it happens more often than not, or just a switch on the list.
Yeah.
That might be different. But at my number 6, I have
Okay.
Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. First Indiana flick I watched and just fell in love with it. I re-rented it at Blockbuster and I definitely put some mileage on that video.
Like, they used to let you have it for like 3 days or 4 days, 5 days?
I think it was like...
It was like a long-ass rental, right?
It was, yeah. And then they started saying like, okay, new releases...
Yeah, they started getting complicated.
Days.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And it's this price for this much days, but if you turn it late, it's this much. But if you turn it that late, then it's that much.
If it's, I think it was a red. If it was a red box, it was a new release. And if it was in a blue box, then or like a blue tag.
No, I think if you rented a red box, that meant it was porn.
Oh, behind that one.
Yeah,
with
the curtain.
The curtain. That's like okay.
With the Christmas lights.
Yes, that one. I think there may have been a special on it too because the video we got from McDonald's to go along with our meals. I think they had a special on it. And I still have that copy to this day. This movie set the bar for that action adventure flick with a story rich in history and an eye for global exploration. Clearly, the work that went in for the search of the Holy Grail went on and off for decades, and reward for all of that work was just a couple sips of water. Damn. But hey, extended life is good. And after that, the Jonesies got to finally catch up with each other. This was arguably the best of the franchise.
Arguably.
And I would have been fine with it being the last. But
should have been.
But with the latest release, I can at least say I've seen an Indiana Jones movie in the theaters. And a new one coming out in 2018. Yes, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I'm iffy on the newest one. That crystal skull kind of touched my inner child inappropriately. So, I don't know. I totally forgot about that they sold the video at McDonald's. If we didn't get it from Costco, we probably got it from McDonald's. I have, as the number 6 movie I'm thankful for, Top Gun. I didn't see this in theaters, but over the course of childhood, I must have seen it like a trillion times.
It's true.
I wanted to be a fighter pilot one time, but that just wasn't in the cards. Actually, I think I just wanted to have a cool call sign and say shit like, I feel the need for speed. The shitty part is, you don't get to pick your own call sign, so if you have a dick squadron, you could get stuck with a shit name.
Right. There's a pilot that came in to visit the kids at the school, elementary school. His call sign was Sumo.
That is terrible.
I don't know if it was, he wasn't like big, but...
What, was he Japanese? That's probably...
It's probably mixed. Because, I saw a brown guy.
Like local Japanese?
Yeah.
Oh, Japanese Hawaiian.
It was Hawaiian Japanese.
Japanese Hawaiian Filipino.
At number 5, I have La Bamba.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie came out in 1987, but I caught it at an early age somehow. It must have been on HBO. Yes, I was fortunate enough to have cable at such an early age.
Lucky.
Yes. So this is a biopic on the life of musician Richie Valens. If you haven't seen it, played by Lou Diamond Phillips,
Richie Valenzuela and his flying guitar.
who died at a young age in a plane crash. There was so much to tell about this young man, but I feel the focus on this film was actually about his relationship with his brother, Bob.
What about me?
Yeah.
What about Bob?
Just like the dog, the family dog, played by Isai Morales. And his death affected so many, and you see that at the end of the movie. LDP, I love your work. I'm thankful for this movie because of its bomb-ass soundtrack. Donna is the ultimate love song. Come on, let's go, come on.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And, that concert in the gym before the fight broke out.
What song was that? That was Donna?
No, he was going, hey, now, baby.
I don't know if I remember that song.
Oh, it's a bomb. It's like, that'll get me dancing.
Now I kind of just want to hear Come On, Let's Go.
Well, come on. Don't change the lyrics, Richie. Don't change it. Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah, I used to love that movie. Dope soundtrack. I like the one where in the biker bar or whatever, and they play that song by Buddy Holly, I think. It's like, stars appear and shadows falling. You can hear my heart calling. Little bit of love make everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. You know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then like Bob was like feeling it on the drums, and then in the morning he was like playing it on the can of fucking peaches or something. So for mine's one, I gotta go with Chasing Amy. Oh. I saw this on a VHS a couple years after it came out. My homie Josh recorded it off pay-per-view, but it was labeled Big Trouble in Little China. But it was recorded over with a porn. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember VHS, but you could record over any VHS by taping the punched out squares in the corners.
People did that, yeah.
Anyway, this particular tape had been recorded over lots of times, and Josh was really into girl-on-girl scenes at the time. So he told me to borrow the tape and check it out, and I did. Girl-on-girl is not really my thing, but after the porn finished, it went fuzzy and then queued straight up to Chasing Amy. So I watched it and loved it. I like how it depicts the complicated nature of sexuality, identity, and relationships, and how people can lose great loves if they are unable to move past the fact that people have pasts.
Baggage.
Yeah, so.
That's it. Yeah, just move on. That's that.
I know!
Like Holden McNeil, come on, man.
Like, dude.
Like
to plant a flag in German territory, in virgin territory. You know how young you gotta be there? Like, creepy young, son.
Like,
I know, move on. Of course they fucked before and probably had lots of fucking adventures.
So you think maybe Holden is the one with issues? Not
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she did slutty shit, but at this point, she's not who she was, and she wants to move forward. And then you come up with this shit. Well, let's have a threesome. You, me, my best friend, weirdo.
So we can be on the same page.
Yeah.
Come on, no.
Come on, dude. Aww. That is a hang up that is just inexcusable. No wonder she left you, fucking. No wonder you lost your best friend. He's like doesn't know about his sexuality, and now you just fucking made shit weird.
You did, yeah. I mean,
made shit weird.
Yeah, it is a complicated movie. Like you think about it, like when I first watched it, yeah, I'm like, oh man, like I could see why. Well, actually, I didn't know. I didn't know anything about relationships at the time. But
I was gonna say you didn't know anything about lesbians. Like, yeah, I still really don't. But it's like they're people. So.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I think he's the one. Yeah, he's the one definitely with the issues, and I think blew it out of proportion. And good for you. You're gonna judge this woman on her past if she wants to be with you now? No, man.
That's stupid.
At number 4,
get the fuck out with this. I know already.
I have Grease 2. Grease 2. So I have no idea what the problem is with this movie.
That it exists.
It has better songs, a better story, motorcycles.
That was my horse scoff.
Cool Rider and Michelle Pfeiffer. He came out of the darkness in the middle of the night, blazing like a mother with a fist of dynamite. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere with.
How does that not make you want to kill yourself? Because I feel like just
fantastic stuff.
I shouldn't be here right now.
I didn't even know it yet, but this was probably my first introduction to live musicals. Aside from all the Disney stuff, compared to the first Grease, that one was good, but its sequel just a lot more enjoyable and realistic. No flying cars, please.
I'm sorry. Did you just ask for realism? in musicals. Also, I can't believe you like this one more than the first.
Come on.
I bet if they made The Shining Part 2, you'd like that one better. The only saving grace of Grease 2 is Michelle Pfeiffer. The songs suck in this one, and I'm over it. My number 4, Reservoir Dogs. I love the non-linear time, and I love the dialogue. I love the overwhelming tension of who's the rat, kind of along the lines of The Thing. Then the irony of the story, Mr. Orange rehearses and then tells about being the only bad guy in a bathroom full of cops, when in actuality, he's the only good guy at a table full of bad guys. And Stuck in the Middle with You while Michael Madsen tortures that punk cop is also classic.
Oh, my God.
Another high school favorite. This was like my breakfast movie. I put it on while I ate my Vienna sausage or Portuguese sausage before I had to get on the bus. I wish I was a millennial just because I could eat my breakfast, watch Reservoir Dogs, and not have to stop it. You know, I could watch it on a device on the bus instead of having to listen to my cousin guys talk about basketball and hip hop.
Actually, I used to come home after school, make Portuguese or make Vienna sausage and rice, and then watch Last Crusade.
Nice.
And then Grease 2.
And then somehow he found death metal.
COOLRIDER. I want to see. At number 3, I have Dragon, the Bruce Lee Story.
What?
Yeah, directed by Rob Cohen, released in 1993, 20 years after the passing of Bruce Lee. So in this one, Lee is portrayed by a local boy, Jason Scott Lee, who is ripped to the teeth in this one. He is ripped. I am thankful for this film because it introduced me to Bruce Lee. My older siblings and that whole generation before me already knew who he was. Yeah, dishwasher. And they were all excited to see this because even 20 years later, Bruce Lee was still a favorite, a cinematic icon, even though he released only one American film. And before that, playing Kato in The Green Hornet. But he does have a pretty large catalog of, foreign action cinema roles.
The Green Hornet was so weak.
And cinema roles. Just in case you think I'm saying cinnamon rolls. Yeah.
Foreign action cinnamon rolls.
Yeah. And at the time, if anything, those movies were only available at your mom and pop video stores. Example, Tommy's Video or Alpha Video, if you're in Hawaii. Or if you were lucky enough, the movie would be shown during Kung Fu Theater on the USA Network.
Up All Night.
That's USA Up All Night. Right. Yes, that was the best. That and Monster Vision with Joe Bob Briggs, right?
That came in right around when puberty struck, so internet wasn't a thing yet. So thank you, USA.
Yes. Thank you, USA Network. Yes. And it would have been until years later that a coworker told me that Dragon wasn't a good movie at all due to the inaccuracies of the story. I had to rewatch it, and my 9-year-old brain shattered. It was a Hollywood flick, over-dramatized to compensate for the lack of action and entertainment Bruce Lee was associated with. But then if you think about it, how do you tell a story about a man who was an international action superstar, but didn't compete in real tournaments, never fought anyone in real life, or, professionally, or, publicly? And originally intended to open a chain of schools to teach martial arts.
Well, fuckers was coming up to him on the set every day at Enter the Dragon, and he had to fucking beat him up.
Oh, right. Like prove to me, right?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, if you...
It's like, Lee, you're so good. Challenge me now. What? Who's next? What? You too. Like some.
Yeah, and aside from all the action, he really was just a philosopher at heart. And 43 years later, he's still making an impact in the world.
You know that fucker smoke weed. Yeah. Move like water.
Well, the key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering.
And smoking weed.
That's Bruce Lee. Really. So Dragon is just, I would say, a summarized introduction or cliff note to the life of Bruce Lee. You should check out the Bruce Lee podcast for more of his philosophical work or sayings. Shout out to Jason Scott Lee too, though. Love your work.
Yeah, I loved that one as a kid too. I wanted a Wing Chun dummy. In fact, actually, I still do. After I saw Dragon, I tried to punch through a block of ice. Very stupid.
You never tried after watching Karate Kid Part 2?
Oh, to break those ice and shit?
You gotta pray first.
That shit is way easy. They're not even an inch thick and 10 of them. Okay, whatever. That's badass, I guess. But anyways, I'm lucky I didn't break my fucking hand. So my house was being rebuilt at the time. And after the ice block incident, we decided to punch through panes of drywall that were laying around. Well, drywall isn't that easy either when you're a kid. I mean, now I'll bust through the whole walls, no problem, guarantee. But I guess I'm lucky YouTube wasn't a thing yet, because it would have read "Fat Kid Cries After Ice Block Fail." My number 3, Blood In, Blood Out. Super awesome epic story about 3 Latino cousins growing up in Los Angeles in the 70s. I don't know who the fuck has my DVD, but if I can't find this on Putlocker, I want it back.
You know, it's at Walmart for $5. Director's cut.
Oh, for $5, you say?
$5, but you want the theatrical one.
No.
One.
I want the director's.
At number 2, I have The Fifth Element. The first movie I watched in a dollar theater. And it was disgusting. Like, you got to peel your foot off the ground for each step you took.
Well, yeah, it's $1.
Yeah, it's $1 theater.
I mean, probably use condoms, hypodermic needles.
Oh my god! But for sure, well worth the price of regular admission if I would have went. This movie brought to life an ensemble of colorful characters, most notably Lilu, Mia Jovovich, and Ruby Rod, played by Chris Tucker. Come on, man. You know, it's filled
He
with...
was dope in that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, with 100 one-liners and phrases, an awesome score by Eric Serra, and fantastic costumes and alien characters. It's a story that goes beyond this world and back to fight off evil with the greatest power of all... Love.
Everybody, love is the fifth element.
That's what happens, yeah. Tell her, Corvin.
That was a pretty gay reveal, but...
This movie is so good that I made friends because of this movie. Mostly because of Ruby Rod. Corvin, come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah.
Where were you making friends at?
I know. These were the lines. and this is all coming from... and this is all coming before... do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Never touch a black man radio.
Yeah, way before that. Yeah. One of Luc Besson's finest, next to Leon the Professional. Thank you, Luc Besson.
Yes, thank you, Luc Besson, for everything except fucking Lucy. You screwed the pooch and gave it AIDS on that one. I fucking hate that movie. It's stupid. Anyway, what dollar theater did you watch Fifth Element at?
This was in Vegas. This one was Vegas.
You were in, like vacation or whatever?
Yeah, I was there in vacation.
Okay, I was thinking maybe Restaurant Row, but I guess all dollar theaters have that thing in common with the sticky ass floors and condoms and...
But, I mean, and it's $1, so, like, people are, like, cruising outside, like, just waiting for the next screening because it's just $1.
Yeah, for $1, yeah.
Like, that's where...
There's a homeless guy with his dog and a guitar.
I'll just go watch this
playing
movie.
Sublime.
Oh, Lou Dog?
Yeah. I got a Dalmatian.
I don't cry when my dog runs away. Okay.
So, yeah, we saw that one in Waikiki 3. I think 3. I missed that theater. Anyway, my number 2 is John Woo's The Killer. It's on Netflix now, and if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. Hong Kong Bullet Symphony at its best. Nowadays, actioneers have a lot to thank John Woo for. Not the slow-motion melodramatic head turns with doves taking flight in the background, but for the firefight choreography and camera movements in the midst of shootouts. Also, I like the love story in this film. It's really subtle. No sex scenes, no real touching at all, no declarations of love. It's all inferred. There's also a bit of a bromance, too.
Nice. All right, honorable mentions. I first have Blood In, Blood Out. Yeah, starring the main 3 guys in this movie, Benjamin Bratt, Jesse Borrego, and Damien Chapa. There's so much to say about this movie, but to keep it short, Paco, played by Bratt, was the most badass out of them all. And ideal, because he grew out of that troublemaker life into something more positive. Not to say joining the military is the answer, but it did keep him out of jail. And this was the movie that influenced me to take Spanish in high school. And for nothing really, I didn't really use any of that until after college. So that's why for you. Next on my honorable mentions is Vampire Hunter D. I honestly didn't know what to expect when I first saw this. And when I did finally watch it, mind blown. If you
don't know, now you know.
Now you know. This movie opened the door to other anime greats like Akira and Wicked City. And whatever was, on the shelf in the anime section.
Can I just say something about Wicked City?
Yeah. I'm
still creeped out by the vagina claws. The vagina Venus flytrap punani.
That's the demon for you. Jesus.
Why? Why would little kids be able to watch this movie?
I know. It did have that 17 and older, so I think it was my brother or my mom. It was like, oh, this is a cartoon. Can I watch it? or whatever.
Cartoon. I know.
No, but see, D is such a calm dude. You know, charming, even without trying to do anything, and just an overall badass.
Well, that's like
vampire
the whole
killer.
Western samurai thing. Like, this motherfucker's no more emotion. I mean, he doesn't have to really say shit because he's son of Dracula.
Right, but then I saw Blade, you know, but he's calm too.
And cheesy. In
But-
part 3.
But D is still my starting pick. My last honorable mention goes to Mallrats. This introduced me to Kevin Smith and the rest of the View Askew universe. I could relate to Brody because the fact that he read and collected comics, loved going to swap meets and dirt malls, and proud that people knew him there. And of course, just hanging out at the mall was a blast.
Was Brody Jason Lee?
Yes.
And that's a different character from Chasing Amy.
Yes, that's Banky Edwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so two different people, yeah. Two different characters, yeah. I wanted to be just like Brody. And it wasn't until, you know, later that I learned Jay and Silent Bob were actually recurring characters in Smith's other movies. So I didn't see Clerks until after Chasing Amy.
Like, you know who they are, right?
Yeah.
C-3PO and R2-D2 and those two Japanese idiots from the Hidden Fortress.
Oh, are they? Well, because in Holden McNeil, he's talking about Bluntman and Chronic, right? It's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern meets
Oh, okay.
Vladimir and
Was
the
that
guys
from Hamlet?
That's from Hamlet, and that's the other two characters are from Waiting for Godot. Kevin Smith's universe, very fun and enjoyable thing that he created.
Yeah, actually, you were the first guy who introduced me to, like, universes within films that weren't, you know, plainly stated.
Oh, okay. Like they were somehow connected. Like,
Yeah.
Like so I guess for
Like Tarantino has his.
yeah.
Honorable mentions. On the anime tip, Fist of the North Star.
Nice.
This movie fucked me up. My Japanese homie Johnny turned me on to this, and up to that point, I had only seen American cartoons, and I didn't even realize anime was a thing. This shit is so violent and bloody, and it's animated. The mythos is dope too. You know, if you like anime, you know this. If you don't, but this sounds interesting, you can check it out on Hulu. It has the Fist of the North Star series, and that's pretty awesome too. But
Nice.
the movie is where I got my start.
Do you that five-finger death punch in Kill Bill, is that from Fist?
No, that's the actual thing.
That's an actual thing?
Yeah, like Bruce Lee said he had the 5-finger death punch too.
Oh wow.
And so
So they incorporate that in Fist.
sort of. They incorporate the body
whole
pressure
movement.
points.
Ah, okay.
Kind of like fucking, if you guys seen Three Ninjas, some shit. So stupid. But like all the acupuncture points, you press that and you can blow up the guy's face or whatever.
Yeah.
Second, Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Yes.
I love this movie. This is the first of the series that I actually saw in the theaters.
Nice.
And it was also where I realized I had an affinity for horror movies, in particular the killers/monsters. Part 4 continues from Part 3, and I hate that they replaced Patricia Arquette with
know.
Tuesday Night.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, whatever's. Last honorable, RoboCop.
Nice.
Dope ass movie. Got a limited release in the 80s. I saw it at the Art House Theater by the university. It's so violent, so gory, so awesome. Okay, before we get into our number ones, shout out to Basement Condition. Brandon gave us a list of movies he's thankful for. And Brandon says Halloween, High Fidelity, Almost Famous. Okay. Oh man, I love it. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Detroit Rock City. I wanna rock and roll all night. And Tim Burton's Batman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is thankful for those.
Yeah. And you said you got that top 5 idea from Rob Gordon, right? Top 5.
Yeah. Top 5 records. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, so what's the name of your what's the name of your company? I don't know. Top 5 records. Yeah. All right.
All right, cool.
Number ones.
Number 1, I have Starship Troopers. I saw this in the theater twice. The reason I love this movie so much is because,
You're a nerd.
Yes. First,
No one
I am
likes
a
you.
fan of sci-fi,
No one
especially
likes you.
action sci-fi. But my favorite movie of all time is, of course, Aliens.
Aliens.
And when Alien 3 came out, I was excited as all hell. Don't get me wrong, I love Alien 3, but I guess, the greatest appeal in
No
Aliens...
Space Marines.
Yeah, was the Colonial Marines, yes. And that didn't continue on in the third film of the franchise. So we could only read about it in comics. But 11 years later, Starship Troopers comes out with a bang. And it filled that emptiness that Aliens, that had left in me. Right? Because no movie came close to an action-packed gunfight with aliens than in Starship Troopers since Aliens. And this movie has more than a few fight scenes. I think there's like 3, maybe 4 total. It's action-packed all the way.
As fuck.
Yeah, and I'm also thankful for this movie because it introduced me to Casper Van Dien.
Ugh.
Shout out to Casper Van Dien. Love your work.
I love when Casper Van Dien dies in the pack. But yeah, fucking Starship Troopers was great.
Yes.
And it took me by surprise because I'm not really into sci-fi, notable exceptions aside. But Starship rocked it, man.
For sure.
My number 1 movie that I'm thankful for, True Romance.
Wow. Really?
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, anyways. This is classic Tarantino. Reminiscent of pulpy crime novels, 70s martial arts, exploitation flicks, and noir thrillers. With a femme fatale that's kind of like a hard-boiled Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman. This also features a young Brad Pitt as Floyd, the stoner roommate. The score and the theme is also top shelf by, of course, Hans Zimmer. I know Tarantino has complained about the ending change and other shit, but I'm glad Tony Scott, who actually directed the film based on Tarantino's script, lended his gritty action sensibilities to this film. It could have easily ended up too avant-garde or indie for its own good, but it's a great film, great romance, not a real romance, but a film that gives a romantic perspective on the way a lot of people wish romance presented itself. 2 damaged people that find each other randomly and experience the spark of true and everlasting love, despite drugs, crooked cops, mafia henchmen, egomaniacal studio execs, and life in general. Truly a blood diamond in the rough.
Nice. I liked how... Oh, I read that Tony Scott was the one who changed it to present it in a linear fashion, right?
Yeah.
So I think, that would have been a little bit confusing, I think, if it was like jumping all over the place. But it was a good movie, for sure.
Yeah, it would have made it less impactful. Because Tarantino, I think, was going less on the actual romance of a thing. He just threw a romance into the whole true crime kind of... I don't have another word. That's what true. Yeah, I know. You're like waiting for me to say. No,
Yeah.
just true crime.
True crime, yes.
But with a romance. But yeah.
Okay. Check these movies out.
Yep.
They're all Yo Watch CC.
Yep.
Peace. This is a Nekko Media podcast.